Okay, so this is homework 2.3, question number 5. There was no video for it, and the way that you solve it is a little bit different than the examples that they give. So, I am going to show you how to do this answer. And this is the question: how much water must be evaporated from 15 quarts of 65% antifreeze solution to produce a 75% solution? Now here's how we, right before we go over it, there's 2 tips that you need to do, that you need to know. Tip number 1, and both of these are real easy. You need to be able to convert percentages into decimals. So for example, if we take 65%, that is equal to 0.65, right? That's relevant for this question. Also, since you are going into a 75% solution, you have to know that 75% in decimal form is equal to 0.75. So that's the first thing you need to know. Tip number 2 that you need to know, okay, is that when we're talking about operations, you have basic operations, you have addition, you have subtraction, you have multiplication, and you have division. I'm just going to put a slash there. And the key here is the word of. Of always means multiply. So I'm going to say that right here. Of always means multiply. So if we know that rule, we know how to convert percentages to decimal, we will be well on our way to solving this problem. Now, solving for the actual problem. Now, basically what's going on here is they have a total amount of liquid, let's say in a bottle. And in this bottle, the total amount of liquid makes up 15 quarts. 65% of the liquid, 65% of the total 15 quarts is antifreeze, right? Now, based on that, based on the fact that let's actually figure out how much in quarts that is. So if we take 65% or 0.65 of multiply of 15 total quarts, then we know that the quantity is equal to 9.75 quarts. So basically 15 quarts are total that consist of antifreeze and water. But we know that since 65% of 15 is equal to 9.75, that is the amount of liquid that is antifreeze. Now obviously that means there's 35% water, right? 65% plus 35%. That isn't too big of a deal. So now imagine what they're doing here is they're taking away water. Water is the only thing that is leaving this. Now imagine that you have 9.75 quarts of a particular liquid, and that makes up 65% of your total liquid, right? Now let's say that your other liquid, it being water, is going to be evaporated. You're not going to be taking away any sort of antifreeze. The antifreeze is going to remain the same. You're still going to have 9.75 quarts of antifreeze. But you want to make this a higher concentration. You don't want to make it 65%. Remember, as you take one liquid away, let's call, in this case it's water, and you're only taking water away, that same amount of antifreeze there is going to then occupy a higher percentage of the total liquid. So now we want to actually make sure that this is 75% or 0.75 of our total liquid. But this is hard now. We don't know exactly what to multiply here because we don't know how much liquid is going to be remaining once the water is evaporated. So let's call that X. We know that once water is evaporated, we are going to have less than 15 quarts. We just don't know how much now. Of course, that's still equal to 9.75 quarts. And I'll go ahead and put this in parentheses of antifreeze. Now, if we do this operation, simply divide both sides by 75, what we end up with is X is equal to 13. Now 13, this is the amount of quarts of total liquid, antifreeze plus water. Remember, we started with 15 quarts. We knew that once water was evaporated, we'd have fewer quarts of the total liquid. Now we know that increasing, so I mean, we kept this the same, antifreeze, same amount of antifreeze, but if it's occupying a higher percentage of the total liquid, then we obviously have less liquid here total. The operation told us, let's kind of line this up, we now have 13 quarts of total liquid. Now the second step that we have to do is, we originally started with 15 quarts of total liquid, water plus antifreeze, but we also know that now we have 13 quarts. So if we subtract 13 quarts from 15 quarts, we see that we lost 2 quarts. Amount of water that was lost through evaporation. Since water was the only thing that we lost, we did lose 2 quarts of water. And that's what was asking. How much water must be evaporated? Well, there you have it. Answer is 2. I hope that helped.